It's important for everyone to have access to the theater because when you're doing it, you can express things that you might not ordinarily be able to express.
Stanislavski taught us that actors, we enlighten the human condition. So theater is there to represent the human condition. And so whose human condition are we representing, and who gets access to viewing that human condition? So instead of saying that this is free theater, it's part of a movement to have it accessible to everybody.
We think that theater should not be a luxury good. It should be like our bread and like our water. If we say we live in a democracy, one of the tenets of a democratic society is equal access to ideas and the debate of ideas.
Self-accusation. I feel like people are able to relate to the things that we're saying, because that was one of the things that we wanted to do, and we wanted to make people a part of it.
It's a collective confession, collective accusation, and we're unpacking something for everybody.
It struck me as an everyman story, a kind of recitation of pretty much everything that one goes through in the course of a lifetime, at least potentially, and maybe sometimes it's figurative and maybe sometimes it's literal.
And you can't hide behind a character. You can't hide behind a scene. Either you bring it or you don't. So I think self-accusation is probably one of the most humbling works I've ever done.
It's white hot. It's really terrifying and exciting to expose the ritual of the theater to the naked eye.
It makes you work, which is going to make you think, which makes you part of the theater that's being created.
What it has given us is this gift of being in a space with the most uncomfortable moments that we have by ourselves together. So it becomes this collective individual experience.
But I think that the journey for the audience is really an internal one. The whole conversation is really with yourself about how you are responding to what you're seeing. And to me, that is the show. The show is happening in your mind.
Art sort of is this invisible dialogue that is happening inside of each person. And so what art allows is for people to sort of have a window inside of each other's souls.
Each human being that I'm interacting with is a resource. It's a library. There's an entire museum, there's a study there. And that to me gives me fire.
People can contribute so much to the world, but they just have to see it, you know? Sometimes people need to see it and know that it's possible.
Something about this, I don't know how, but it's really making people able to go through the next day in a positive way, to wake up and feel joyful, which is something we could not predict, but it's amazing that it's happening.
If a bunch of strangers can come together for free and create something that has so many different meanings and that stimulates your brain and stimulates your heart, that essentially like you want to wake up the next morning and go do something. And I think that's what Theater Y has been giving all of us that are a part of the show.
The power of breathing together with 50 other strangers while having an aesthetic, intellectual, and emotional experience, it's an education on how to be human.